السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم مرة تانية على قناتكم التعليمية لمدرسة خالد بن الوليد الرسمية لغات. معكم ميس شيماء صلاح مدرسة لغة إنجليزية للصف الخامس الابتدائي. كما وعدتكم الدرس السابق هيكون فيه أحد الطلاب المشاركين بحل السؤال اللي تم كتابته في الفيديو السابق. السؤال كان the last question was Ahmed isn't the tallest student in our class. So let's welcome to our students, my favorite students. Let's welcome Gaser. Come Gaser. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
علي صوتك يا جاسر.
How? I am fine, thank you.
Hey Gaser, welcome again. And do you know the answer of the last question?
Yes, I to be.
Let's tell the other students. ها هو الكويستشن كان بيقول أحمد isn't the tallest student in our class. عايزين نقول حاجة بسيطة إن إحنا كنا last lesson كنا talk about comparison، وده كان آخر كويستشن عندنا في الفيديو، والجاسر المفروض إن هو كتب الإجابة في التعليق تحت. وزي انا منتظره كل الطلبه ان هم يبداوا يشاهدوا الفيديوهات كامله ويشوفوا ايه السؤال اللي انا ببقى كاتباه علشان يحلوه ويشاركوا معايا في الفيديوهات القادمه ان شاء الله. اوكي يا جاسر، tell me the answer of the question.
Some students
ها
are
or
than Ahmed.
excellent, very good. Thank you very much جاسر. And I write thank you very much. I write the question again, the answer again. I write the answer again. Some students are taller than Ahmed. طيب هو ايه اللي حصل او جاسر عرف يحلها ازاي؟ هو قال لي يا ميس ببساطه كده احمد مش هو الاطول طالب في الكلاس. معناها ايه؟ معناها ان احمد ده من ضمن طلاب طوال في الفصل. طب هل انا ينفع اقول all students؟ قال لي لا، لان المفروض ان هم مش كلهم هم اللي طوال. انا قلت ايه؟ يبقى هقول بعض التلاميذ، يبقى some students. طبعا I can use isn't or is اصلا لان هنا plural students، يبقى are، وهنا استخدمت taller than Ahmed. Thank you Gaser again, and let's complete our lesson B, unit 1. Hello students, let's complete our lessons. Lesson B, English Zone for 5th grade. We talk about many jobs or something you would like to do it. So when I'm talk also about my father or my mother's job, we talk about many jobs or something you like to do it. I can say something like my father is a poet. So what is a poet? He is a person. He writes poetry. يبقى he is a poet and he writes poetry. يبقى طيب if I want to say many jobs, for an example, let's see something like marine biologist. What is the meaning of marine biologist? Marine biologist يعني اللي هو عالم الأحياء البحرية. طبعا we have in Arabic words, and let's see the whole jobs here and repeat after me. Well, poet يبقى poet, a person. I'm talking about anyone. Maybe he is my father, maybe she is my mother, maybe he is my teacher. يبقى everyone I can say about him. أنا ممكن أقول عليه a person. So a poet is a person who writes poetry. يبقى poet. طيب what is the meaning of in Arabic? شاعر. يبقى الشاعر هو اللي بيكتب شعر. In English يبقى a poet is a person who writes poetry. Okay? Vet vet اقول على طول a person no اقول is a person يبقى vet is a person who helps sick animals ده الطبيب البيطري. طيب painter a person who paints buildings or walls. writer يبقى is a person who keeps a diary يبقى a person is a person يبقى a writer is a person who keeps a diary. So repeat after me. physicist is a person who likes math and science. athlete is a person who plays sports. pianist is a person who plays the piano. طيب nurse, who is a nurse? When I'm talking about someone, who is a nurse? A nurse is a person who helps sick people. طيب smart here is an adjective. And here we talk about someone and I can describe him or her. He is smart, which means having or showing a quick witted intelligence. طيب musician is a person who plays a musical instrument. doctor is a person who helps also sick people. طب builder is a person who builds new buildings. teacher is a person who helps what? Sick people or what? لا, students at school. mechanic يبقى is a person who repairs cars. marine biologist is a person who studies sea animals. cartoon illustrator is a person who draws cartoons. cartoonist, I can say him cartoonist. classical musician is a person who plays a musical instrument or writes music. The football player is a person who plays football. طيب I want you to tell you something about. طيب we talk about the relative pronouns, which means if I have two sentences, something like he is my father and he helps sick people. طيب I wanted to say these sentence in just one sentence. يعني أنا عايزة أربط الجملتين وخليها جملة واحدة. هنا بنسميها حاجة اسمها relative pronouns, which means إن أنا بحط هو. إيه ده؟ هي مش هو دي اللي إحنا بنستخدمها في الquestions؟ أيوة. لكن أنا المرة دي مش هعمل question. أنا هعمل إيه؟ أنا هقول بمعنى الذي أو التي كأداة ربط اللي خاصة بالشخص. يعني لما أجي أقول مثلا he is my father. طيب I wanted to say الذي يساعد الناس أو المرضى. يبقى أنا هعمل إزاي؟ يبقى هقول كده he is my father who. يبقى احنا حطينا who بعد a person اللي احنا we talk about him اللي هو father. يبقى أنا I erase dot. I can say he here also. لا that's wrong. يعني ازاي هقول father وهو he؟ that's wrong. يبقى هنعمل ايه؟ هنقوم عاملين كده erase he واقول he is my father who helps sick people. He is my father who helps sick people. طيب another example. طيب there is an example. He writes poetry. This is a person. طيب I wanted to use who. واحنا قلنا ان who دي it's called relative pronouns, which means ضمير صلة. يعني بوصل ما بين جملتين to make it one sentence. طيب how can you say it? Can I say he writes poetry who this is a person. no. هو هنا عامل لي change، يبقى احنا هنعمل برضه ال change واحنا بنعمل الانسر بتاعنا. فنقول this is a person who، وهعمل erase لهي لان انا I'm talking about what does he do. يبقى هقول على طول الفيرب، يبقى who writes poetry. Okay, let's read بقى our question for the next time. A writer writes in a journal or a magazine. Use who. يبقى the question for the next time. A writer writes in a journal or a magazine. I want my students to use who. واحنا قلنا who هنا هتبقى relative pronouns اللي هي which means ضمائر صلة. طيب أنا عايزة كل الطلبة يكتبوا التعليقات بتاعهم الإجابة بتاعتهم في أسفل الفيديو. أوكي؟ زي كل lesson إن شاء الله. Okay, let's revise the relative pronoun who. احنا قلنا who as a relative pronoun to join two sentences. زي for example, this is Ahmed. He plays tennis well. يبقى we have two sentences. The first sentence he is Ahmed، يبقى أنا حطيت بعديها الفول ستوب. The second sentence he plays tennis well. طيب how can I use who? I can say المفروض الأنسر بتاعتي this is Ahmed who plays tennis well. طيب another example, look at those children. Look at those children. دي كده الفيرست sentence. يا ميس هو احنا لازم هنأكد كل مرة لازم هيبقى فيه he is و this is؟ لا، المفروض ان الفيرست sentence احنا قلنا لازم بنتأكد ان فيه كلمة في a person or اي شخص. طب ايه الشخص اللي عندنا هنا اسمه ايه؟ look؟ no ده it's a verb. طيب امال مين؟ children. طيب نيجي للسكند sentence they are running. They are running the second sentence. طيب how can I connect them using who؟ يبقى look at those children who are running. Who are running. طيب if I wanted to use who as a question بنستخدمها عادي اللي هي as a first of the question. Who is she؟ يبقى بنقول she is my sister. I ask about a person. I use who. يبقى who is she؟ She is my sister. طيب لسه في البراكتس احنا عندنا دايما البراكتس بتاعنا بيبقى عن طريق سؤال الريرايت. As first بيقول لي that man is my father. He is carrying a bag. طب I want to use who. هي انا سامعاكم وانتوا بتقولوها. هي ميس احنا دايما متعودين ان احنا لو لقينا في الفيرست سنتنس البيرسون like my father يبقى انا هعمل ايه؟ هعمل erase للدوت وهعمل erase للهي وهقوم حاطه بدلهم هو. طيب let's answer it well. اقول that man is my father who is carrying a bag. Okay? طيب number 2 Ola is my best friend. This is the first sentence. Second one, she helps anyone. بالنسبة للقراية أنا كنت عايزة أقول لكم على حاجة. ما ينفعش وأنا باجي أقرأ أقول Ola is my best friend she. That's wrong. المفروض إن أنا عندي فول ستوب يبقى أنا هعمل فول ستوب عندي. فول ستوب دي معمولة عشان أقف شوية وبعدين أكمل اللي بعديه. يبقى عايزة أستخدم هو يبقى المفروض أقول كده Ola is my best friend. يبقى أنا عندي هنا اللي بيمثل البيرسون وأقوم شايلة الدوت أعمل إريز ليها والشي وأقوم قايلة who helps anyone. طيب third example بيقول لي the boy got paper because he wanted to build a model. طيب I want to say the boy who. طيب فين البوي هنا؟ اهي هو انا عايزه استخدمها من الاول يبقى انا هقول كده يبقى the boy who got paper. اقوم بقى انا حاطه هنا الكوما wanted to واكمل build a model. We have finished lesson B, so we will continue our lessons next time and we will begin with lesson C. And محدش ينسى الاجابه بتاعت السؤال اللي انا اديته له اخر الفيديو، التعليقات بتاعتكم، وعايزه اشوف الاجابه ومستنياها علشان يحضر معايا في lesson C ان شاء الله. ثانك يو.